I remember talking to one director. He said, you know, on your first day, remember, anybody can put the camera down once. He said, but you got to figure out where you're going to put your second shot so that you look like you know what the hell you're doing. I knew we were going to shoot this scene, and so I said, okay, we're going to kind of go this way and set up the dolly track, and all of a sudden, boom, it started happening. The grip started setting up the dolly track. The DP, Dean Simler, said, you know, do it right. And I was a stage manager, so I used to do that kind of stuff, and so suddenly it started to go up. I was a little cocky, you know. I walked off and went, wow, this is pretty good. You say put it here, they put it there.
No wonder everybody thinks they can do it, huh?
Yeah.
I came back, and now they had the camera up, and the actor started to walk through, and the shot wasn't right. Every time I looked at it, it just didn't feel right. And I thought, oh my God, this is my first shot, and everybody's looking at me, and this doesn't feel right.
Cut. Cut. Come on. We had a jet anyway.
I thought, what am I going to do here? I not only don't even get to put the camera at the second spot of the day to show everybody I know what I'm doing, I've got the camera in the wrong place. And I debated about it. Well, just go with it. What the hell? And something in me snapped and said, you're directing. And I said, this isn't right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's have it run the other way. And everybody like looked at me for a second, and then they did it. And that 2 moments let me think that I could do this. That moment, and then 2 nights later when we saw the dailies of that day, I looked at it and I go, this looks like a movie.
So you see that his heart's breaking. It makes you feel ashamed. Because this guy's saying he's proud of you, and you know that there's no reason to be proud of you.
From day one, I knew that Kevin was the right guy, that there was no question from day one he was the director. I mean, not only the director, but a great director. I had no question. So it wasn't, I didn't go through 2 weeks and 3 weeks and all of a sudden he began to evolve and become something. It was immediate. I mean, when I saw him set shots, talk to actors, run down the hill, or do another take, look at dailies, talk to him, you know, I knew he was on. I had a doubt prior to it. I don't know until all of a sudden he starts delivering. But after day one, I said, all right, it's going to be a lot of days, and it's going to be tough work. But I thought from the beginning, this guy's actually got it.
You got to roll this way, okay? You got to get this way. And this turns into the crawl. Robert. This turns into the crawl, and then it turns into the knee.
He always encouraged the behavior to be as completely honest and in the moment as possible. There was never an assumption, oh, an Indian woman back then wouldn't do that. There was never that. And I really appreciate it, because you can play modesty without acting at, you know, being repressed.
Why are you not married? I'm sorry.
Has to go.
Kevin was very clear as a director, particularly about Stands with a Fist. He had very specific ideas about her, which I totally appreciate, because it gave me some boundaries as well as some wide open spaces. But to play that relationship with him when he was also directing was actually kind of sweet, because for me it allowed me to watch him be this, you know, really fantastic leader. And that fit perfectly well with the soldier that I was supposed to be admiring.
No. Good. We'll go again, right away, Rod. That's the exact angle. Start with those eyes right there. Okay, those eyes. Yeah. When I say action, half a beat there, and not real quick with the eyes. Just a little bit of a look around, a little bit slower, just a little bit slower. And you feel it. You feel it bubbling up in you. Okay? You look around, you see the argument going awry. Okay. Here we go.
It was an inspiration to everybody in the cast and crew to, you know, just forge ahead. We'll follow you anywhere. You know.
So then at the end of this thing, where he says, I'll go, you'll go, and kick me where to go, it's more quiet than the last one. It's just more like, okay.
There's been a couple times where somebody flubbed a line and just pick it up, you know. So it was that. It wasn't, okay, let's start over again. It was just pick it up.
What Kevin really did in Dances with Wolves as a big-time movie actor that I thought was truly great is that he gave himself up for the story. He made himself a human maypole around which all the action was revolving. Kevin had his wonderful moments, but he was very, very generous with the story and his fellow actors, inviting them in to inhabit this story fully. And I think it has a great deal to do with the success of the movie.
And when you see him look for help, it's like, you sissy. You did. She's been handling him for years. That's right, Floyd. That's right.
Kevin, I thought, was great as a director because of his experience as an actor, you know, and he knows what you're going through, and he knows how to explain things to you, to communicate what it is that he needs as a director. So it was great. It was just smooth, you know.
Is Gene lined up with Tim, or are we just...
on his start mark, I think I had Tim pretty much clean there.
Let's put Tim on his start mark.
He was generally very clear. He knew exactly what he wanted. He had a vision. He knew shots. He may not have known what lens to shoot them on, and, you know, maybe I didn't know what lens to shoot them on at that stage, and a lot of the time it was trial and error.
What do you think, go tighter?
I'd punch in 100, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Go tighter.
We put lenses on the camera, and we moved the camera around until it looked exactly right.
Good, Chooch. Good, Chooch. Get out, Chooch. Get out.
I'd come back after the take with Kevin at the monitor, and we'd look, and Jim was generally there as well. And they discussed the shot, and Kevin would say, I'm going to do one more. He wouldn't say why. He'd go back and do a variation on a performance.
Okay, right away. One more.
Kevin always took the time. I mean, he amazed me how he was able to balance so well directing it and acting in it. And he was never short-tempered. He always took the time, took a personal interest. I mean, I was quite in awe with it because I had never worked with a director, I don't recall, that actually did both.
Got a real close-up of me directing. I don't even know what to say. You guys have water.
It's hard sometimes to take him out of the picture when he's in the character and say, Kevin, well, why don't we look over here? This might be better. I set up this whole scene over here. Why don't we go look at that? Because he's so involved in the acting as well. But it's a blessing because he's so totally involved.
And you're looking up. And you're looking down. Just a second. You're looking up and you're looking down. That's exactly the way to do it. When you feel that impact, it's oh! Okay? Yes.
It took us 108 days to shoot it. Okay, the average movie is about 60 days at that time. So, I mean, we're out there 46 more days. That's a long time to be away from home. And this actor is directing. And so I know there was doubts flowing through everybody, but about the fourth week before we finished the film, our editor pieced some stuff together and brought it to dailies as a presentation, about 6 minutes of film. We actually have that piece that he played for the crew, and it was only represented like the first 30 days of filming, not even the last 60.
Just hear that you've been decorated.
Yes, sir.
And they sent you here to be posted.
Actually, sir, I'm here at my own request.
Really? Why?
I've always wanted to see the frontier.
Do you want to see the frontier?
Yes, sir. Before it's gone.
When the lights came up, there were tears in the eyes of everybody in the room, especially the Native Americans, because no one had really known what they were working on. And he had just cut together 6 minutes of footage. And it was what the crew saw before anybody, anywhere, any studio, anywhere had seen anything. I kind of follow my own heart about how I feel about things, and no one can ever take that night away from me, whether the picture went on to be successful or not.
The very last shot that we shot was Kevin riding to tell the tribe that the buffalo were coming. It's kind of a night shot, and it's like ghostly. He kind of rides out on the horse in the middle of the prairie. That was the last thing we shot. And it was so cold that we were all hiding in vans. We couldn't even get out. And he was out there still with his thing, you know, no coat. Didn't even faze him.
It's okay. Again, Doug. That's a wrap! Look at the gas. Shot of the car. I'm gonna be as hard on the studio as I was on these people. If you're gonna be a bully, you gotta be a bully to everybody. All right!
When we wrapped and we called it a day, I just took Kevin on that last shot and I ran up to him and just gave him a huge hug, and he cried too. And it was, we knew we had spent it all. Right there.
Did you all make this? Did you kids all make this?
Yeah. You guys have been great in this movie, and I hope that you see yourself in this movie, and I hope you remember it, and I hope it's as good as you want it to be. Yes.